Morning, Andrew. You're muted.
That's probably why you can't hear me.
There
Good
you
morning.
go. Now you can introduce yourself.
Mr. Dupka, how are you today? Thanks for joining us. Jackson?
I'm absolutely fine. I'm fine.
Good. We still have people joining us. I'm already streaming to Facebook, but I've not yet started recording. I usually give about 10 minutes to let people come in, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, okay, perfectly fine.
Great. In the meantime, I do have people here. Herschel Daniels, for example, is someone I invited. He's one of my guests. But because you have a vision of engaging over 1 million people worldwide, primarily farmers, I wanted to make sure that Herschel Daniels was introduced to this concept. So Herschel, please take this moment to introduce yourself while I do some housekeeping.
Yep, no problem. So I'm part of a global international movement that started when I lived in Asia decades ago. Then I moved and worked in the Caribbean and lived in Egypt as an oceanographic tech. So I did not come to realize the importance of farming until about 2 years ago. And so within America, our organization represents 66,000 Black farmers here in America who were rejected by the United States Department of Agriculture for settlement of their claims, where Black farmers in America have lost over $120 billion worth of land since 1920. And so now we have a plan of action under this presidency, who held a international summit on democracy on December 9th and 10th of last year. 111 countries participated, and he has released a plan of equity in the United States, including rural communities, called Executive Order 13985. And so we just participated in the Commission on the Status of Women, because in Africa, over 80% of farming is done by African women, but less than 10% of the land that they farm on is owned by African women. And so we worked within the Commission on the Status of Women and released a agenda to create a global compact to build back the world better with democracy in a new world order version 4.0 in a just economy.
Thank you. That was quite comprehensive. I do see we have guests, Hadreen Diana and Anderson Mazingara. Please take this time to introduce yourself. We're streaming on Facebook, but we've not yet begun recording, but please unmute and introduce yourself. If not, then not.
Hi. I'm Diana from Romania. Nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
We'd love to have you here. Thank you so very much. We appreciate it. Please make sure you put your contact information in the chat so that we can follow up with you afterwards. We would really appreciate it. If you're representing an organization or farmers, perhaps now you'd like to tell us a little bit more about who you are.
Okay, thank you for invitation. Thank you so much.
Anderson, can you unmute yourself? Would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, well, Jackson, we have another 3 minutes here. I'm going to go ahead and begin recording in about 3 minutes. Is there anything you would like to say before we get started?
Yeah, so I'm just waiting this program to go live. So nothing much to say, but just for the audience right now who are here. So I'm from Bhutan. I'm from Bhutan. Bhutan is a small country in Asia, but I'm very happy to tell that Bhutan is the only carbon negative country in the world. So it's a very small country, less than 1 million population. So I would be sharing more about my works and my future plans once this program is live. So nice to be in touch with you all. Thank you.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and begin recording, and you can share your screen if you like, and we can let other people come in as they come, but I don't want to, I do value your time. I know it's late there, so I'm going to get started. The recording is in progress. This is Andrew Williams Jr. Today's guest is Jackson Dupka out of Bhutan, and his organization is called the Global Village Connection. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to you. Go right ahead, please.
So, hello, good evening to everyone. So, of course, here is almost midnight. So, I'm very happy to, share my ideas, my thoughts on what I'm actually intending to do something for the world. Indeed, I really want to, create some kind of a global platform so that everyone can be part of this process to create a better world. So just to briefly introduce myself, I'm from Bhutan, a small country in Asia. So over so many years, and I have been thinking about the problems that the world is facing, especially the people who do not have so much of opportunities in so many countries in the world. And of course, there's a good news that many people now are becoming conscious of what is happening, the problems that we are facing right now. But it is not enough. It is not enough. Although there are millions of people, thousands of organizations trying to do something for to create a better world. They're trying to do something on their own. But what I find is that the world is not getting better. Okay, so we have a lot of problems of global magnitude, like the climate change, and so many people still who do not have an access to the basic necessities in life, while some a few people, who own so much of wealth in this world, and so many people are actually suffering. So that's why I see the biggest gap that we need to create some kind of a global united force so that we are actually able to bring all this much record global transformation. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I came up with this concept of global village connection. The basic idea is to unite the people from all over the world and create that kind of single unified force so that we are actually able to take actions on the ground and bring all these global transformations.
Well, thank you. I've begun to share your screen. Could you perhaps walk us through the work that you've done so far? I understand you began this in 2018. So this has been a work in progress for some time, but I've now shared my screen with your website. So we see these photos of people around the world, but can you tell us a little bit more about your mission?
Okay, our mission is very simple. It is to create a better world. Okay, so let me tell what we have been doing until now. So my primary focus is to first unite the people. Okay, that's what we need to do. But in 2019, we organized people from 11 countries to plant some trees all over the world. And just in few days, we have been able to gather so many people to take this greening activities. And just to inform you all that I did this one without having to spend any kind of much fun for this initiative. So I was requesting people from 11 countries to participate in this small activities so that we can make the art more greener. Okay, so that was in 2019. So yeah, GVC is a very, very big concept, and we are preparing the required teams and network all over the world so that we can actually fix all the problems of the world. And GVC has about 22 special wings, and one of the special wings is the farming network. We are trying to unite the farmers from all over the world so that we can actually create a world of zero hunger. And we are not going to wait until 2030. So I believe that in the next 5 years or so, if we unite ourselves together, we have the knowledge, we have the experience, and if we are united, we are going to create a world of zero hunger in the next few years. So, Andrew, thanks for sharing the screen. So we have about 12 thematic projects, okay? So one of them is to achieve the global food security. And one of the other top agenda is to reverse the climate change and to take action so that we can address this issue of climate change. Now we are building our global network, and one of the special wings again is the Climate and Sustainability Club, okay? So we are building this, our team, the ground army, to take actions on climate change. Likewise, we are also uniting the educators from all over the world so that we can actually bring all these advocacy programs in the schools, starting from the small children, because they are, I believe that they are the future of the world, and we really need to prepare them to, you know, like be part of creating this sustainable and thriving world. So, as I said, we are building so many different kinds of network, and just now, my focus is to unite the people of the world and build all this global network. And in the next 1 year or so, I'm really looking to create a global network of 300 to 500 million people. And going by the progress that we are making right now, so we are actually very successful in uniting the people. Of course, there are so many challenges, like people in so many countries, they would like to see the ground activities. But if we try to unite the people by executing projects or activity, I believe that it is going to take another 1,000 years, okay? So basically, I have come up with this GVC framework to create a better world. So I have been very successful to bring on board so many people from different countries. For example, in Africa, there are 55 countries, and we are building our network in, you know, like about 50 countries right now. It's a very huge network that we are building. So the good thing is that many people now are becoming conscious of the problems that we are facing with regard to climate change and all these things. And there are already enough people on the ground ready to take actions, but unfortunately, there's not much support, and especially to fight this climate change. No organization or community can fight this one or face this one in isolation. So we need to all come together. This is a problem, common problem that every one of us face, including the rich countries and the Western countries in particular. So there is so much support required on the ground to take actions with regard to combating this climate change.
Well, yes, thank you so much. I'm just walking through on your website. I did put the link to your website in the chat. So those of you that are here with us can actually have a chance to go to the website and see the overview of the 6 objectives. Just briefly, number 1 is the creation of safe, peaceful, progressive, and united societies. Goal number 2 is the creation of an educated, well-informed, and responsible global citizens. Number 3, promotion of the welfare and happiness of global citizens. 4, promotion of the sustainable living and sustainable development. Number 5, nurturing and maintaining a healthy Mother Earth. And number 6, the promotion of good governance. I also noticed here you have an overview of your business activities. They include marketing and promotion, trading, logistics support, research, consultancy and publication, organizing corporate training seminars and workshops, and promoting global tourism. Your social activities overview are all being organized under the GVC Foundation. You also have a list of professional services. Active services include IT services, business consultancy services, language translation services, and expert opinions. You do also have a list of future services. I do want to let everyone know that when you go to the website, you can actually have an opportunity to join as a member, or you can join as a volunteer, or you can join as a partner. So I would urge all of our audience to simply go to gvcglobal.org, and there you will be able to find your information. But the immediate priorities is one of the reasons why I brought this particular platform or brought this topic to this platform. When you say your immediate priorities are climate change, uniting global citizens, research activities, and promoting global peace, the very people on this call right now each have a particular area of interest or expertise in that area, Jackson. So I do want to give you that information. And we will be allowing our guests to introduce themselves and show us or tell us how they would like to associate with you. My involvement, my activity here is to provide the platform so that we can connect together ourselves as not an internet of things, but an internet of everyone and everything. So everything I can do to help, I'm willing to do that. You may notice when you go to the link to become a member, there's some very general information that's requested of you, but it also identifies the responsibilities. So in general, volunteers, anyone from any country is invited to become a member. There are no qualifications for becoming a member. We do not charge any fees to become a member. However, there are responsibilities, and following are the responsibilities: to uphold the values and beliefs of the Global Village Connection, to advocate and spread the mission of the Global Village Connection, to participate and promote the activities of the Global Village Connection, and to volunteer as and when the situation calls for it in case of natural calamities. So the benefits of members, they include special support and assistance in any country where we are able to provide support through our volunteer network. Enjoy special discounts in products and services of the Global Village Connection. Get preference to participate in various events of the Global Village Connection. You get firsthand information on any specific activities of the Global Village Connection, and you shall enjoy a spirit of togetherness within the family of the Global Village Connection. So those are the key benefits and responsibilities of becoming a member. You may also become a volunteer. You may volunteer as an expert if you possess some skills or knowledge what can be used for our activities. It would be such a great help. Following are the areas where your skills and knowledge could be helpful: rendering expert opinions in the implementation of various social projects, trainings and seminars, medical camps, online useful information in the Knowledge Corner. Again, there are responsibilities: to uphold the values and benefits of the organization, to advocate and spread the mission, to participate and promote the activities, and to volunteer as and when the situation calls for it. And the benefits are the same for the volunteers as for the members. Finally, you can become a partner. And that is where we are partnering with non-governmental organizations that are doing something to bring changes, or address the global challenges. The organizations can be from any sector and from any particular country. Partnership with business entities. We are partnering with business entities regarding any products or services that have the capacity to improve the lives of the people. Most desired sector can be in the field of education, environment, and health. But through our wide network and platforms, we are promoting the products and services so that the people can be benefited. We're also looking for a partnership with individual experts. who are expert in various fields or sectors. The partnership can be for volunteer works or for business purposes. And on each of these options, you will have the chance to register as an NGO or as a business entity. So Jackson, I do want to briefly stop there to let you know that part of the reason I'm committed to support you is because your effort to recruit at least 1 million people around the world will easily support the commitment that my organization has made to add another 10,000 new members, non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, including labor organizations, business associations like chambers of commerce, but also institutions of higher education and corporate social responsibilities organizations that are to become members of the United Nations Global Compact. Let me briefly state to you that my organization, the Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, was founded on the International Day of Peace and on September 21st, 2019. So Jackson, what we're committing to do is to work with you between now and then to do everything we can to help you achieve the numbers that you want. But we're looking beyond that. You are very right. Waiting till 2030 is waiting too long. We have to start right now. But the great news is that there are works already in progress. For example, there is right now a global 2021 through 2023 worldwide strategy for what they call local networks. And for those of you who may not know, what we now call the Sustainable Development Goals is actually just the second phase of the Millennium Development Goals that were launched in 2000 by Kofi Annan, who was at that time the General Secretary of the United Nations. But alongside that, he did launch the United Nations Global Compact. And the idea was very simple. In many cases, you'll find that businesses, in some cases, have a larger income per year than some countries do. And we all know right now that billionaires are spending billions to take people to space while we have millions of people that are here starving on a daily basis. So the concept is this: make a corporate social responsibility commitment and publish it to the world on an annual basis to identify just what you are doing to help to affect one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals in 4 major areas. One of those areas is human rights, and that includes indigenous rights. And I see that Susan Diego has joined us now from Kenya, and that's very important because even though we have 55 African countries, as you said, Jackson, we have over 3,000 indigenous tribes. So the idea is for us to leave no one behind by engaging the grassroots population on the world, on Earth, with the trillions of dollars. There have been $130 trillion that have been already committed to be spent by the chief financial officers of the major members of the United Nations Global Compact. But what they require is accountability. This is not a case of an opportunity where there is grant funding available. This is not about grants. These funds are available to achieve specific projects that have specific business plans, that have specific management teams. And it is critically important that each of us now prepare ourselves to become actively involved by taking human responsibility number 20, or human right number 29, responsibility for empowering our community by empowering ourselves. So with that, Jackson, before I go forward, we have had several people to join us. So I'd like to now open the floor before you proceed, Jackson, to find out who is here and to ask them to let us know what they are doing and how, if at all, they're willing to work with us to move this forward. Susan Diego, for some reason, your picture's in front of me, so you go first. Can you unmute yourself, Susan?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Am I supposed to introduce myself and tell what I'm doing?
Let's start there. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome back after Easter holiday. We had a wonderful Easter in Kenya. Thank you for this forum. And I am Susan Yego from Kenya. I work with Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. I am Chief Agricultural Officer and also Agricultural Engineer. I'm also the Project Director for UnityNet Kenya. I do other things part-time. I'm a volunteer in children's home, and also I work with the youth and the women groups in my local community in Kenya. In Kenya, Nakuru. Thank you so much. Not only Nakuru, actually the entire county, Nakuru, and also Keiyo Marakwet and Kilifi County. Thank you so much for this forum. When you talk about human rights, it is the ability to allow people to exercise their knowledge or their talents without any restrictions, especially in the local communities. And I take this advantage, or I take this opportunity to say, we have people in the community who are differently talented, and we do like to have them with us because they have different talents to build each other. We build each other in the community. Others are good at, maybe they're plumbers, and they're good at fixing broken pipes or cisterns. We need them in the community. Others are nurses. We need them in the community. Agriculture, like me, I'm needed in the community, and so on, teachers. And therefore here we are, and as a group, we want to learn from each other. Thank you for this platform, and thank you for everyone. Maybe as we continue, I would contribute more once I learn what it's all about. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome, Susan. And yes, we do have other people coming in, but Herschel Daniels, you were among the first here. So please do a Hollywood do-over with your introduction, etc.
Thank you, Andrew. So we're a participant in COP26, which is this year. COP27 is in Egypt. So, and March 25th at the Commission on the Status of Women, at the end of that, we proposed the creation of a global compact to build back the world better with democracy and a new world order version 4.0 with a just economy. We're a signature in America to the 5th largest bank in America, a 4-year, $88 billion agreement. And we're using that as a platform with Andrew's groups and the Global Village. We're meeting in Washington, D.C. in person on June 13th and 14th. We're online virtual from the 6th through 10th. You should know April 25th is the Indigenous People, the Permanent Forum on Indigenous issues. Then on May 25th is African Liberation Day. And because we are civil society in the African Union and a joint venture in the United Nations around the Universal Periodic Review, we look forward to working with y'all to put in place the work in each of your areas through Andrew's organization and other organizations who are participating in it. My information's in the chat. Thank you, Andrew, for this opportunity. I have a hard set at 2 o'clock, but I appreciate it.
Okay, very good. Well, look, that means I have 180 seconds left. So talk about Black farmers before you leave.
So we represent 66,000 Black farmers in America who were rejected previously in previous administrations from being repaid money because our government has discriminated against them to such an extent that since 1920 to 2018, they lost $120 billion worth of land value. Now, under this administration, they are addressing the issue in the USDA, and we're prompting them to do so for Black farmers. And last year, as the United States participated in the UN Food System Summit, we submitted a plan of action that now in February 28th, the USDA launched an equity commission. Then last 2 weeks ago, the Biden administration addressed it through an executive order 13985. And now we look to work with all of you around the world as a follow-up to the Biden administration's Summit for Democracy and the second upcoming summit. And so we look forward to working with you to make sure that the world is fed. It's a fundamental right. Nothing matters that if you cannot feed your children, your family, then if you can't feed the people who you love, then nothing else matters. And so we believe in the theme, you are as healthy as what you eat. Okay, and we look forward to working with you to implement that through Andrew's organization. Thank you, Andrew, for this chance.
So we can count on you to register and have as many of your 60,000 farmers register with Jackson's organization so that we can get 1 million of them to register with you?
You can count on us to start the registration, subject to reading his documentation, et cetera. That doesn't conflict with what we're doing otherwise. Yes.
I'll share it in your inbox. Thank you so much.
Mr. Andrew, I just want to correct. It's not just 1 million. We are actually going to unite 100 million farmers, not 1 million by the end of this year.
Yeah, well, I understand in America, we're concerned directly with the 66,000 that we've been assigned by the court to represent, so that we look to actualize them on the week of June 12th through the 19th. And so we look to work with your organization to bring it forward in the United Nations. Andrew knows what we're doing. We've been together, Andrew, for quite a long time.
Since December 12th of 2012, that's when you actually executed the Kwanzaa Accord, if I recall correctly.
Thank you. That's you correctly. And we're now into the second stage of the Kwanzaa Accords. And again, from America, you have a president and a vice president of Asian descent who's looking to put together a plan of action. You have Americans that are willing to do so. As Andrew said, we've been working together a long time. We look forward to that. I'm 1 minute late, Andrew. But,
all right, thanks, Herschel. Thank you so much. We've had multiple people to join us now, Jackson. However, I was just in an earlier conversation with Mark on a related call. So Mark, I'm wondering if you would have an opportunity to unmute and introduce yourself if you so choose, and share with us your comments about what you've heard and how we might be able to work with you and vice versa. Mark P. And if not, let's see if I can, Mark is no longer here. So I'll open up the floor for anyone that would like to introduce yourself. Please raise your hand or unmute yourself, and then we can proceed. We are going to be here for another hour or so, if your time allows, or until we address as many issues as there are. Rose, please unmute, introduce yourself, and go right ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Greetings, everyone. My name is Rose Mwandawiro from Kenya. I'm a mental health psychologist, and I love talking about mental health. I believe that where there is unity of doing anything, we have to be mentally stable. So I love this forum so much. I've been listening when you're taking us through the website, Sir Andrew, and I've picked a lot of issues whereby I can have my input as well. And I was very much interested in seeing what this organization is offering. Thank you so much. It is such a wonderful organization. I've learned a lot from the website, and I look forward to be of benefit, especially where we talk about mental health issues. Thank you and have a good evening.
Hello, just for the kind information of the members. So one of the special wings of GVC is the counseling network, okay, like the farming network. So we are uniting and creating this network of counselors so that we can bring about all these mental health issues on board and come up with a global network to render all this counseling, various kinds of counseling. So we have the counseling network for your kind of information.
Thank you, sir. I've already shared it on the chat box. Thank you.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
we are already building the network right now. It's just a WhatsApp group that we are building. So you can join the counseling network of Kenya, and then we spread out, you know, to the whole of Africa. Of course, we are going to create this ecosystem of counselors, and then we will definitely very soon come up with these counseling programs.
Well, thank you. I do want to give acknowledgement to Carlos, excuse me, Carlos Sanko. He's the continental representative for UnityNet on behalf of Lloyd Helferty. But Carlos, I do want to let you know that what we're doing here is we're providing you with an opportunity to meet and engage with others who are committed their lifetimes to accomplishing many of the objectives that UnityNet is. So this is intended to be an opportunity for collaboration as we move forward. So we hope you find value in what it is that's here. And we're offering you any resources that are available through the website or through this connection to assist you in accomplishing your objectives. So Carlos, would you like to introduce yourself at this time or not?
Yeah, thank you very much, Andrew. And good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. I'm really pleased to be part of this network. It's a big opportunity for me and also for the whole of Africa. My name is Carlos Richard Sanko. I am, as Andrew said, I'm the continental president for UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. And I am also a co-founder of the Global Unity Network International, based in Canada. And of course, I am also the CEO for Focus on Rural Development in Sierra Leone, West Africa. Now, of course, we as Unity Network, we cover the
We lost your voice, Carlos. Are you there? Well, technology is only great when it works. Hopefully Carlos will be back with us. I do see him, but I don't hear him. Carlos, are you able to unmute yourself? I see you're unmuted on this side, but we do not hear you, Carlos. So that being the case, I'll move over to Anderson Manzanguera. You were here earlier, sir. I see you're unmuted. Would you like to make a comment and introduce yourself?
Thank you. I'm sorry that I think my vision is not there. It's not good.
No worries.
But,
just use your audio so that you don't take up your bandwidth. If that's good with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we hear you clearly, but go right ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Anderson Manzanguera from Malawi in Africa. I'm very happy to be part of this meeting. I'm looking forward to see lots of happenings about agriculture, as my country is one of the agriculture dependents. So I want to try to connect with the world, so that we can try to help on food security in all the countries of the world. starting from my country to all other countries. I'm happy that lots of countries, lots of people are participating in agriculture. Then, and this GVC is also coming in agriculture. Thank you so much. With you. Thank you.
Well, if you can, in the chat, if you can put your contact information there, we would appreciate it. And if you have your own organization or a farm, we'd like to know more about that after we get through with this presentation. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Andrews. So just for the sake of information for Mr. Anderson, we are already building our farming network in your country. Yeah, we have the president who is going to, look up this farming network. So we are already uniting the people of Malawi, the farmers, I mean, even the educators. So yeah, that we have been doing in the last 1 or 2 months. So we already have a, pool of, great leaders from Malawi.
Excellent. Excellent. So he can actually go to your website and register as a member so that he can become part of this effort. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm already registered, yes, but I will re-register.
Oh.
I will register.
The website needs to be updated, okay? So we are coming up with a different, entirely different platform where everybody can register as leaders and members, okay? So it's a very, very huge number of people already, like more than 500,000 people in our network. So the current website cannot accommodate all these things. So I am in the process of creating a platform so that at least we can register 50 million people by July or August this year, okay? Yeah,
Great.
that
Great.
process is ongoing.
Fantastic, Jackson.
Great. Thank you.
I'm so glad we had this opportunity to get more information. Now, there are several people here that joined after we began. If you'd like to unmute and introduce yourself, we can. Otherwise, we will move to close. So it is up to you to introduce yourself now or forever hold your peace.
Yes,
Well, Erwin, I see you. Yes, Erwin,
let me
please introduce
myself. My name is Irwan Rusli. I'm with the Rusli Institute of Technology and Development, pretty much dealing with the poverty and any technology related as associated with the development. So I'm looking forward to know more about your organization, and seems to be a very interesting and large organization for me. So I'm looking forward to.
Okay, Erwin, thank you so very much. I do see we still have people coming in, so I'm going to keep this platform open for a while. I am going to briefly share my screen to give a little backgrounder, though. And I'm going to ask, if you're not speaking, to please mute yourself so that we will. Oh, Mohammed, I see your hand is raised. So before I begin, Mohammed, would you like to unmute and introduce yourself?
Thank you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Please go right ahead.
You hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Please go right ahead.
Okay. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. I am Mohammed Amin Khiari. I am the chairman and the CEO of Africa Accelerator. I'm African leading business strategist, board member, and fundraising advisors in venture capital emerging funds. Moreover, I'm a venture capital networker, and I have a network of plus 20,000 business angel and investor all over the globe. And I serve as a general partner of Africa Accelerator Capital. We are working to making bridges between Africa, Middle East, Europe, and America. Now we are searching a long time worldwide partners, entrepreneurs, investors to share with them these huge deals, opportunities that we are receiving every day from all over the globe. from our huge investor network, LinkedIn and Facebook private groups. We have an entrepreneur in Tunisia. We are investing with him. He has 30,000 farmers that we are helping them to giving them the opportunity to the financial inclusion, to help them to make exchange between them, and to help them to create a new world and to support them in their journey. Thank you for this opportunity, and I want to help you to in this big project.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen briefly. Just for your information, I heard you mention Tunisia. Tunisia will be the host country this year for the 8th Tokyo International Conference on African Development. And I do want to let Susan, Diego, and Rose know that the last time this event was held in Africa, it was actually held in Nairobi, Kenya. So I'm encouraging us all to take advantage of existing activities that are already planned and happening, so that what we can do is align our efforts with those and demonstrate that we are the ones delivering the solutions that the people that are hosting these events are trying to accomplish. So before I proceed, I will allow Jackson, if you would, to respond to this offer out of Tunisia to connect together Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and America with what you're doing, Jackson. Would you like to respond before I proceed? And if not, I'll share my screen.
Okay, sorry, I was, in mood state. So just to respond to Mr. Mohammed. So again, as one of the special wings of GBC, we are building the entrepreneurship and business club, trying to connect the entrepreneurs from all over the world. We have already started the process in many countries. And in the next 1 year or so, we would like to unite at least 100 million entrepreneurs and business people all over the world. And we would like to create a global platform where we don't depend on big time investors and foreign aid, but we can actually raise funds from our network. So that is something very, very different. And that's why we are already building this entrepreneurship business club. I believe we have also started in more than 30 countries in Africa. So maybe we should connect and we can share more, how we can connect kind of very, very huge network and connect every country in the world. So that's what we are trying to do.
Yeah, let's go to it, to do it.
We are doing it as we speak. One of the key areas that came to my attention from Jackson was the fact that we are facing climate chaos. And I do want to share with you this information and this map. This map was put together several years ago. And what it does is, if you mute yourself, if you're not speaking, I would appreciate it. What this map does, oh, by the way, let me do my commercial introduction here. Now, I myself am Andrew Williams, Jr. At the very top here, you'll see a little circular sign. It says andrewnetworks.com. That is a website where we are working with others such as Juliet Mayabo, who just joined us, to provide support services for all of the various activities that we're involved with. In particular, to the left there, you'll see a blue image. That's PARXTC Referral Network. That is my corporation. It does provide us with a global footprint. And also we have professional liability insurance that allows us to protect all of the participating members who agree to participate with us through our standard memorandum of understanding, which I'll share at a later time. But the AHIABGA, this event is being streamed right now live on Facebook to the AHIABGA network. That's a group that has 2,000 members. The AHIABGA is an acronym for the Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, Activists, and Advocates. So of course, we would like for all of you to consider becoming part of that. However, it was while I was the president of 5 Points Youth Foundation that I joined the United Nations Global Compact in 2014. And we were able to recruit over 100 Goodwill ambassadors between September 21st, 2019 and December 31st, who were able then to promote the Caring for Climate campaign. But now this group, AHIABGA, is dedicated to take a more active role. We want to use commercial activities to support our humanitarian causes. So we'll be asking that a percentage of all of the commercial projects that we're able to facilitate does support a humanitarian cause. However, at this particular time, we have established a relationship with the Armu Williams Foundation out of Maryland. And to the right there, you see Dev 17. That was founded by my co-founder of AHIABGA, Janice Da Silva, out of Cabo Verde. It's very important that Muhammad is here because obviously he'll be able to help us engage with people, not just in English, but I would think in Arabic as well. Those of you from Kenya will help us be able to reach people in Kiswahili. Those of you that are here that are bilingual can help us reach even a wider audience. However, all of us are faced with the adverse impacts of climate change. As I said, this map was put together several years ago, and what it does is it shows a map of the world. Where you see the dark portions of the world atlas, that designates those countries where the most people are likely to die or be adversely impacted by the effects of climate change. This has only increased during the pandemic. At the bottom, you'll see a map, and the light colored parts are the places where there are the least number of United Nations Global Compact local networks. So our intent is very simple: to increase the existing number of local networks in places where there already are, but to expand to those places where they're not. And there is, in fact, a 2021 through 2023 strategy to include or to expand those members of the local networks. I'm going to click on that link and bring you to that page now. This is the United Nations Global Compact strategy for 2021 through 2023. It's also important that you know that on a weekly basis, we are also having every Thursday a meeting of the Indigenous Global Unity Network. We've already had 45 weekly meetings. We'll be continuing these weekly meetings throughout the rest of this year and to into next year for the sole purpose of aligning our efforts with the existing ongoing international effort to impact the Sustainable Development Goals through the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact. Again, they address 4 major areas. 1 is human rights, including indigenous rights. 2 is labor. 3 is the environment. But the 4th one may be the most important: anti-corruption and transparency. Because as I said, the founder of the United Nations Global Compact, Kofi Annan, was not only the General Secretary of the United Nations, he was also the founder of the Kofi Annan Foundation. And the United Nations Global Compact has joined together with the Global Reporting Initiative and Transparency International to identify those countries that are most corrupt and those that are most transparent. This year, the United States of America fell out of the top 10. So we are increasingly becoming a more and more corrupt country of our own. So that means we as individual citizens and global citizens have the responsibility to work together with others around the world to address these issues. So again, the United Nations Global Compact has a very simple, straightforward intent for the world. And it's the same for Africa. They have a strategic ambition to engage not just accountable companies, as I mentioned. There are right now 13,000 major companies that are holding themselves accountable by publishing online what their commitments are and what their progress is to accomplish these objectives. However, that will not work unless it is engaging with what's called enabling ecosystems. That's why I'm asking each one of the people on this call to understand that you are part of this global ecosystem. To the extent that we are able to align our efforts together, whether we are members of the United Nations Global Compact or not, then we will be able to move forward the objective using a common template. For example, these 5 elements are key to success. 1 is identifying accountable companies. 2, creating a balanced growth of local and regional networks. 3, having a measurable impact in prioritized areas. 4, harnessing collective action of small and medium enterprises, including the informal sector in Kenya as throughout Africa and most of the Asian or global South. Most of the work is actually done not only by women, but through informal organizations. So our effort is to find ways to empower those that are now left out of the equation so that we can build strong and active engagement with and through the United Nations. Now, me personally, I do not support, agree with, or condone all of the efforts of the United Nations as an organization, but I do recognize it as the largest existing organization that allows us, if we were to come together in a grassroots fashion, the 99% can have a major impact at the 1%. So we're 100% committed to our survival. This is called the Sustainable Development Goals phase. What we're projecting is a regenerative development phase, because if you sustain a decline, you're only going to end up in a fatality. So our effort is to have a rethink of the way we accomplish our objectives. And by necessary, we have to co-create that solution. So before I go forward, I'll turn it over to you, Jackson. And after that, I'll introduce the rest of our guests. And after that, I'll close. But the floor is open to you. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so as I said, the biggest problem is that although each one of us or thousands of others are trying to do something to create a better world, but our efforts are not, united to build, one better world. So that's why now what is lacking actually is the ground, strategy, how we can achieve all the sustainable development goals or how we can create a better world. So we need to come together. As I said, that's the most important thing. And we need to plan everything and come up with these action plans, how we can achieve those goals. So that is why just now I have been, talking to so many organizers and people that we need to organize an international conference, something like that of a World Economic Forum, okay? So I would call that conference as a Better World Conference, where we all, the experts and the different people trying to take actions can come together and we can, outline specific themes like food security, climate action, education reforms, legal reforms, corruption, and all these things. And then we can come up with an action plan. And we can also, bring together all the different solutions available for addressing different, problems. So that's why we really need to organize that international conference called Better World Conference, where every organization, every, experts from different fields can participate. So that is the single biggest event that I would like to really see it happen, and that we can do it all together. So maybe towards the end of 2023 next year, we should be able to come together. And as I said before to Mr. Andrew, I have also come up with a collaborative platform called Better World Alliance. That's the exact platform where everyone can come together. People don't have to necessarily join my organization, GVC. Of course, we are anyhow building our ground team to tackle all these problems. And it's a very, very huge team that we are building. So yeah, people can join the Better World Conference platform very soon. I will come up with a website for the Better World Alliance where people can join, our organizers can join this platform. So I think under that Better World Alliance platform, then we can come together, and we should prepare to have that international conference by end of 2023.
Well, yes, thank you so much. I do want to let you know that on the September 21st of last year, the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity out of Nairobi, for which I am the international chairperson, we had an international conference that dealt with each of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. I'm suggesting that we have another event this year in order to lead up to your event for next year. So we want to invite you and all of your participants to join us and understand we are not limited to 24 hours in what we do, and we're not limited to having our conversations in English. Because of the Fourth Industrial Revolution and this very platform and others like it, we can actually in advance begin to produce content so that we can have a presentation for the entire world to become involved with in a professional manner. We have to be at least as professional as the World Economic Forum in our presentations so that we can also classify information. Each of our participants can be identified and can be reached. And what we do cannot be just the end or a one-off, but the beginning of the rest of our lives. So Juliet Mayabo, your hand is not raised, but I'm raising it for you to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Yes, I was waiting for you to stop, to present. Stop presenting, then I was going to raise my hand. Thank you, Prince Andrew. My name is Juliet Mayabo. As Prince Andrew has already mentioned, we work on various projects, including the AHIABGA-TV network under Andrew Networks. My area of specialty is content development in areas of media. Yes, you know, I unfortunately, because of power cuts and also because of the other meeting, one is moving in between. So apologies for coming in late. I'm based in South Africa, as most people here would know, and I work in areas of, I work mainly with the marginalized communities in the townships. And I was actually quite glad to hear that we touched on the issues of psychosocial collaboration, because that is normally a totally under-regarded space in any development work. People don't realize that feeding someone's stomach does not necessarily help to resolve the problems or to help them to deal or to have to want to go and fish. They say teach a man to fish, he will be full forever. But if they are not psychologically and mentally and spiritually not balanced, they will not have the will to go and fish, even if you give them the best fishing rod out there. So I was quite glad that we touched on those issues. I work with mainly women, children, elderly, and we have them for men as well. So in all the works that have been mentioned there, we try, and I mean, I'm also part of the women and the feminist and also part of the Internet African Diaspora for the South African chapter. We can incorporate various aspects of development. Obviously, sports. My background is sports. I'm a coach in skating, inline skating, and hockey. I also work in the areas of the arts and the performing arts. But professionally, my background is media. I wear many hats. But what I'm actually glad to mention here is that in all that we do, the psychosocial wellness of any community, and community, I'm not talking geographically, I might be talking in terms of the LGBTQI community. I could be talking community of children. So, and that is not limited to geography or to country. It goes beyond geography. That is why we also look at issues of collaboration, whether we're collaborating with Sierra Leone or with Uganda, because humanity does not know any limitations. So in a nutshell, I'm glad that I was able to catch on, and I'll be able to listen out more and take the conversation forward with Prince Andrew. Thank you again, Prince Andrew, again for opening up this opportunity and this wonderful session.
Oh, you're very welcome. Jackson, would you like any more comments before I introduce our other guests? And if not, then Kezia has been with us from the beginning. I'm not sure if you can unmute or introduce yourself, or if you'd like to, but now is the time for you to do so if you choose.
Thank you. Kezia Namwase from Uganda. I'm an agriculturalist, and mostly I'm dealing with youth, and I'm helping them by using their to grow food. And I'm so glad to be part of this network, and I'm ready to work with you guys. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Well, you're very welcome. And even though I know I have many of your email addresses and contacts separate from this event, I will only be sending out information about this event to those people whose email or WhatsApp numbers I have. So make sure it's in the chat if you want to get a copy of this recording in the chat. But you can find a replay of this online in the Facebook group, AHIABGA Network, or Encounter Think Tank. They both take you to the same place. So Umar Adamu, okay. I see that you have joined us from Ghana. Would you like to unmute and introduce yourself or not?
Good evening. My name is Umar Adam from Ghana, and I'm currently the vice chairman of the unit Ghana. And due to that, my fasting, that's I could not join earlier very much.
Yes, Umar, your connection is very bad. So I'll just read out your information in the chat. You're Umar Adamu from Ghana, and the executive director of the Center for Muslim Youth in Peace and Development. So Muhammad, I would think that this will be an opportunity for you to engage with Umar so that we can find ways we can build our relationships together. Another of the ongoing events that do have importance and relevance to us is that this year in the Gambia, there will be held the Organization of Islamic Cooperation that will be happening in the Gambia this year. So it's time for us to begin to plan for those delegates that are attending, how we can help what they're doing and how they can help what we are trying to accomplish. The other major event this year, of course, always is again, September 21st, the International Day of Peace. This is the most celebrated day worldwide after Earth Day, which will actually be happening on April 22nd coming up. I would encourage all of us to begin to connect together in our local communities to find ways that we can engage and empower our youth and disadvantaged communities with this global effort, because again, Earth Day means that we're paying attention to the quality of life, not just on Earth, but off Earth. That starts in the local community. So we are having additional people coming in. I'm going to open up the floor for those people coming in, but if there's anyone here that would like to make a comment now, or Jackson, now is that time. Yes, please go right ahead. We see you, but don't hear you yet. please unmute yourself so that we can hear you, please? Unfortunately, we cannot hear you. So there have been two guests that just came in. We apologize for not being able to bring you up to date with all the activities that's happened up until now. But the new people who've just joined, please insert your email address and contact information in the chat, and we'll follow up with you to make sure you get a recording. But you can, in fact, find a replay of this entire session on Facebook group AHIABGA Network, AHIABGA Network. And I see Juliet Mayabo has your hand raised again. Please go right ahead.
Yes, it's a hand of compassion that I'm raising. There's a lot happening in my country at this point, so everything has to be about compassion. I was actually wondering, are you able to give a lot of the people who tuned in late, maybe just a few nuggets of what they missed out on? I know that we can always go to replay, but there must be those key things that Andrew, that you'd like people to take away with them, so without having to go to the rewind later. They'll still do that.
So Jackson, I have to call upon you to again do a Hollywood do-over and explain to people who you are, what the Global Village Connection is, and how they can get engaged with you. So Jackson, I apologize, but please do a Hollywood do-over, just briefly if you could.
Hello everyone, especially to the new members. So I'm Jackson Dupka from Bhutan. So I am the founder and the global president of this non-profit organization called Global Village Connection. The idea is very simple. So we would like to create a better world. So we have 6 broad objectives, and all these 6 broad objectives cover almost everything that is important for the people of the world and the Mother Earth. So right now we are trying to unite the people from all over the world. So we have 22 special wings, and one of the special wings is the farming network. We are trying to unite the farmers. In countries in Africa, we are now connected in more than 50 countries. We still need to connect just few countries in Africa. So there's a lot of network that we are building, like the education network, trying to unite the people. So we are actually preparing different kinds of teams for different themes. Okay, like for example, for the food security, we are preparing the farming network and so on. Of course, what I've seen is that we have all the knowledge and the ideas, everything. The only thing is that we need to come together. So that's the kind of team we are building, and I have indeed set a very ambitious target of creating a network of 300 to 500 million people by another 1 year. But maybe it's not possible, but at least we are going to create at least 200 million people by end of this year. And by July, August, I'm really looking to create a network of at least 50 million people globally. And that's when we can come up with a global, like a proposal, for example, how to create zero hunger by another 5 years or so. And this is what we are going to present to the world. And we would like to register with the United Nations after creating at least 50 million, members. So that's what I'm building this network all over the world. And I'm really working 24 hours trying to connect with different people from different countries. And I really hope that you all will join in this noble mission of creating a better world. And as many people are here from Africa, very soon, within our scope of GVC, we would like to make this initiative of creating a better and new Africa. So that's why I'm trying to connect with people from every country, all 55 countries, so that we would like to leave no one behind, okay? So, and I'm also parallelly trying to create our network in the Caribbean countries and trying to connect people from South America, Central America, and the Caribbeans, okay? So it's a really, like huge network that we are building. And by end of this year, I think almost all the countries in the world should be in our network. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, you can always, reach me on WhatsApp.
Well, thank you so very much. We do appreciate and love what you're doing, Jackson. And we're here, like many, I'm committed for this to my last living breath. So I'm happy to work with you and anyone else that's trying to make the world better for the next generation that's born. But again, for those people that have just joined, in the chat, I put a link to the replay where you can find this on Facebook. Also, I put a link to the website for Jackson for the Global Village Connection. So you can at least be able to access information and give you a background. But Jackson, I do want to let you know that because, as I understand it, you launched this in 2018, it is possible for you to actually join the United Nations through what they call the ECOSOC, which is for social society, after you've been existing for at least 2 years. So we do have members in our networks that are already members that can walk you through that. But what we're suggesting is that you begin right now to register with the United Nations Global Compact. We can walk you through that. It's free for nonprofits to join, and then make your commitment public about what you're trying to accomplish so that it does not come as a surprise to the United Nations. They will actually be watching as we grow. That's another part of the requirement, that we have valid, what they call evidence-based data for us to enter. And the strongest evidence-based data are numbers. So this is where I believe we have the opportunity to let our numbers take a page out of the Donald Trump book and get global publicity and promotions free instead of paying for advertising to reach a wider audience. So again, I want to thank you so much for this time, Jackson. And I'm going to open up the floor before I close for any thoughts or comments from our guests in the audience. Now is that time. And if not, I'll move to close. And I want to thank everyone for attending. I am going to briefly share my screen again with our opening. Yes, Juliet, I see your hand.
Sorry, I'm even laughing because I was hoping someone else would have a comment before I did. Before you close, Mr. Andrew, and someone else has just dropped in, but they will go to the recap. Thank you again for the recap. I just want to ask for, I don't know, maybe this was clarified. This initiative, which is an excellent initiative, it's about time that someone gives Facebook and everyone else a run for their money. I just want to see, are we going to be able to find synergies with the Global Unity Network and all the different nodes of the Global Unity Network with Mr. Jackson here through this network?
Well, I think what he said. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Jackson.
I have been recently introduced to the Global Unity Network, and this is something similar to our climate and sustainability club that we are building. So it's almost similar, like 90% similar, but we can be part of, like in all this network, there's no harm. And as I said, I've already included someone from the Global Unity Network in the Better World Alliance, okay? So that is the correct platform where people can come there, okay? Any organization. It's not for just a few organizations, but anybody can join who wish to create a better world, okay? So that is the correct platform. So very soon, as I said, I will create a website, our online platform where people can register, organize can register. So we will be, like, discussing about collaboration to create a better world under that platform. But anyhow, GVC is something very, very different. And we are actually, like preparing our own ground team. And for even South Africa, we have started so many groups, some like more than 1 year ago, okay? But unfortunately, the progress is not so much in South Africa like in other countries, in Nigeria, Kenya, and Ghana, and so many other countries. we are already, you know, like there are already thousands and thousands of people in our network. And for example, in Nigeria alone, which is a very huge country, we are looking to at least, you know, unite 100 million Nigerians in the next 1 or 2 years, okay? And we have all the entire team for the different networks and special wings. So definitely we can work together, and that's how any like organization can join the Better World Alliance, you know, platform.
Thank you. Erwin, you have your hand raised. Erwin
Yeah,
Russell, you have-
I'm interested with your program right now dealing with the farmers and also the environment. What kind of project, for example, in Africa that you're mentioning about in many different parts of Africa, any particular interested with the poor farmer? I'm interested with the poor farmer dealing with poverty alleviation. What kind of program or some kind of a funding situation that that you are working at the present time? So that
Yeah, so yeah, we are not doing any projects right now, okay? As I said, the most important thing is to unite the people and create this all systematic, you know, like processes and teams, okay? So that we are able to tackle everything. For example, what we are going to do in the farming network is that we are going to come up with our own programs of teaching the farmers how to, you know, like undertake sustainable agriculture, okay? So now basically we are trying to bring people together, uniting the farmers and building our teams at the national level, at the, you know, state level, at the district level, and so on, okay? So this is, we are creating something like we are, you know, building a road so that anybody can fly on this road, okay? So we are building the entire team so that we can tackle every problems and, you know, like every issues through our collective effort. So that's what we are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, for those that are just joining us, unfortunately, we are now moving to close. But if you would put your information in the chat, whether you're on your phone or your computer, if you could type in your contact information, I'll make sure you get a copy of this. But it is live streamed, and we encourage you to go to Facebook, the AHIABGA Network, and copy that link and post it to all of your other groups on WhatsApp and Facebook for those that may be interested in what you've heard here, so that we can share this among our team. So I want to thank everyone for being with us. Again, I'll open up the floor before we close. Now is that time. One more time. Okay, Juliet, looks like we made it.
Yes, no, we made it. I managed to keep quiet for 5 seconds. Congratulate me.
Thank you, Juliet. Thank you for seeing you.
Okay, very well. Normally, after I show the screen, I then open the floor up. And if you want to open your video up and wave goodbye to everyone, now is also that time. We're going to give a chance to let the audience know that we're here. It's not a requirement, but for the next 10 or 15 seconds, you can wave, because after that, I'm going to end this broadcast. But thank everyone for being here, and we love you.
Yeah.
And I do want to say to Pearl Julius, you were unable to speak before, Pearl. Are you able to unmute yourself now?
Yes, because I was in I had some time skip. I was at work at the meeting, so I joined the meeting very, very late. But I'm glad that I could join and participate in the closing of this meeting.
Well, thanks for joining us. Make sure we have your contact information in the chat, and we'll be able to look forward to you. Oh, Jackson, when do you want to meet again with this particular group? Do you want to have this next week, the same time, or when are you going to talk to us again?
Yeah, so maybe this month is a little bit busy for me, because this is the closing month for this taxation. So I have also some other programs, because I'm invited to speak in you know, like by one institute. So yeah, this month maybe we can meet next month.
Okay.
By end of this month is fine. Yeah.
Okay,
Anytime.
very good. All right, well, if you guys
Yeah.
put your contact information in, I'll let you know when our next meeting will be held. In the meantime, make sure you add me to your WhatsApp group and I'll invite us to join there so we can follow up with you.
Yeah. So one more thing. I just want to inform everyone that I'm desperately trying to create our own social media, like WhatsApp, okay, chat platform, so that we can have our own through our network, so that we are going to, like create in the next 6 months, and by within this year, we are going to launch our own social media.
Well, Juliet Mayabo, you put your hand down, but now I'm raising it again for you. Well, just to let you know, Jackson, we're also working with a team in Canada. They are actually putting something like that together. So I'll connect them together with you. All right, Juliet, now or forever, we're going to wrap it up.
Okay. Now, this is a forever point, which says that means then we will be working closely with Mr. Jackson in terms of AHIABGA-TV or we'll unpack that collaboration forward.
Well, anytime you see me commit Andrew Networks, you're already committed.
Okay, then I'm excited. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, next month. So my last point was that the meeting next month would possibly have to be closer to the end of the month because of all the other activities happening up to Africa Day. So I think you guys will do it at the end. Everyone's attention is they can get as many as possible.
So let's then look for the 1st of June, because what I typically do, I'm involved with activities from May 25th through the end of the month. So let's look at the first week of June or the first part of June, if that's okay with this team, because we'll all be busy for Africa Week.
Yes, now for Africa Month as well.
Africa
It's
Month.
okay. We confirm. It's all good.
Yes, yes, and yes. All right, I'm going to wrap it up one more time. Loved everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, again. Thank you. Night.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay,
Bye-bye.